So I wanted to update what my journey is after the first 2 months of getting my real estate license. So I remember when I was getting my license, I reached out to a few real estate agents, and a lot of them just didn't get back to me. But one of them got back to me, and he gave me this little bit of advice, and he said, going through school, all that learning and stuff isn't really going to mean anything. It's just the basics. But when you get out, that's when your real education starts. Now I actually understand. I spent 180 hours here in Texas trying to learn all that I can. And when I got out, I realized that, okay, he was right. There's just so much that I just don't understand about the real estate world. And so, when anybody gets their license and they get it with their broker, they want to get going. They want to start working. So right now, as of making this video, we're at the end of August 24. And 2 months later, I actually haven't had a chance to really work with anyone yet. So, that goes to show that I haven't had any sales or anything, but just working with people, because I believe that the more that I can work with people, the more experience I can get, even if it doesn't produce any sales. I think that the fruit is with being able to help people. And so that's my current goal right now, just working with people, getting experience. And so it's tough, right? Because it's like not everyone is looking for real estate advice, especially with the economy right now. It's hurting. Everybody's hurting. Not everybody wants to talk about this. Not everybody needs help. And, I know that the competition, there's a real estate every 5 feet. You can throw a rock and be guaranteed to hit two. So, how do I distinguish myself apart from anybody else? And so I think that's the tricky part. That's where I am right now, is trying to figure out how to do that. And there's various ways that we're taught to try to get ourselves out there. And so something that's come across my path, which is a good thing, of course, is that I do work a full-time tech job, and that consumes most of my time. So I'm here trying to work my real estate job part-time, and that makes things a little bit difficult, because I can't give it the time that it needs. Obviously anybody who's working on something full-time would just end up being better at it, and so on my spare time, I'm doing this. Because my other job, I still have bills to pay. I have a family to take care of. And so it's one of those cases where I'm really wondering, and I really have to self-reflect, right? Because I know that there's different realtors who start out and they have different stories. I've heard stories people take a really long time. They take months and months to get their first client, while some individuals get it in the first day. I remember in my particular class, there were people who already were working on sales while being educated with the broker. So not everybody's the same, but this is a case for me personally where I'm wondering if either I'm doing something wrong or if I'm not working hard enough. I can always say, oh, I have a full-time job and, da-da-da. But this could be a case where I just need to suck it up, buttercup. You need to work the extra hours, because in the end, this will all pay off. And I go over that in my mind over and over again. Am I not working hard enough? And if I had to be honest, maybe I'm not. Maybe there could be more stuff that I need to do to get myself out there to show, hey, I'm here and I'm willing to work with people. And I guess that's tricky, right? Because I'm positive that somebody else is working harder than I am, who's in the same exact situation. And my question is, how are you working harder? I don't mind working harder, but I think it's just one of those things where I would like to know how I could work harder. There's like a million different ways to prospect myself and get clients, but I don't want to work on a million ways. I want to work on the ways that I know that I would be good at, right? And of course, I don't know which ones I'll be good at until I try them. So anyway, that's a quick update with me. I think the reason for these types of videos, at least, is to talk about myself. The idea is that if anybody's going to want to work with me, they're going to want to know what kind of person I am and who I am. And then they'll be more willing to work with me instead of some guy that's just like, hey, want me to sell your house? And I think that's important because I have to come on here and have to share my life with everybody and talk about what I know. Well, I don't know enough about real estate to talk about real estate all the time. I know a lot. I mean, obviously I got licensed and there's a lot that I know. But before I even get to that point, I think it's more important that I just share a little bit about my progress, share a little bit about my life, because I think in the end, there's a lot of real estate agents who know a lot, but the problem is that you, the viewer, don't know them. And so I think this is my attempt here to just share a little bit about my progress. 2 months in, and still no progress, but I'm not going to give up. And it'd be one of those things to where I would love advice from anybody. Maybe I need to work harder. How can I work harder? What am I missing? Or am I, I don't know, am I being soft here and just like, oh, I don't want to do anything. I don't know. So, share your comments below. I'd like to see what anybody says. Thanks.